Welcome to our preview of the 24th Annual Ashland Independent Film Festival, taking place April 24th to 27th in Ashland at the Varsity Theatre and the AIFF Film Center. I'm Richard Herskowitz, and I'm back programming AIFF for the ninth time. Now, this time I've got a partner, Ora Johnson, a longtime senior programmer for AIFF, who's now joining me as co-director of programming. Ora also helped with the 23rd annual festival, which took place in October of 24, only 6 months ago. We wanted to get the festival back into its proper April time slot, so we did this quick turnaround, and that's why the festival is somewhat more compact than in the past. But we've got 15 feature films, 3 shorts programs, 4 talkbacks, and about a dozen visiting filmmakers, which is still quite a lot. Ora and I are going to run through the program, and we're going to highlight some of the thematic paths that run through the festival. These films are the best independent films we've come across. As always, they are passion projects by their filmmakers, often several years in the making. I'd also note that the emphasis is on social justice and human rights, because these values held by independent filmmakers and film festivals are under assault, and filmmakers and festivals are responding to this. We all need to gather and stand up for these humanistic values. So, along with celebrating community, this is the purpose of our festival. So now here are the paths you can follow, which Ora and I are going to run through in this preview. There's the political activist path, the environmental path, the feminist path, the queer path, and just for fun, the true crime path. So let's get started on the activist path. My Omaha. This film by Nick Beaulieu is about the racially and politically polarized city of Omaha. It's a personal documentary in which Nick attempts to cross the political divide by breaking through to his own Trump-supporting father, from whom he's been alienated. He also crosses the racial divide by befriending the black activist Leo Lewis, who's leading the black community following the killing of a black protester. The film could not be more timely and more healing. To tell you about the librarians, here's my programming partner.
Thank you, Richard. My name is Ora Johnson, and I am a co-programmer here at the Ashland Independent Film Festival. The next documentary I want to talk to you about is called The Librarians. This is directed by Kim Snyder. She's going to be here with us live and in person. And it was also produced by Janique Robillard, who is the daughter of Kathy Dombey, that you may remember as our former executive director. So we're really excited to have it. It just premiered at Sundance. This is where we're at. There has been an unprecedented wave of book banning in Texas, Florida, and beyond. Librarians are under siege, and they join forces as unlikely defenders fighting for intellectual freedom on the front lines of democracy. So this is a deep dive into dark money and conservative organizations that are systematically infiltrating school boards across the United States, redefining certain words to sort of weaponize ideology. And so it's pretty intense, and it's also very current, and this is real. So check it out.
Next in our activist path, I'm pleased to tell you that we're going to be featuring the work of one of Oregon's most esteemed filmmakers, Skye Fitzgerald. Skye's short docs have been nominated for 2 Academy Awards, and they've been on the Academy shortlist 2 additional times. Skye's best known for his humanitarian trilogy on the global refugee crisis. The film follows activist doctors working on the Syrian border, search and rescue teams operating off the coast of Libya, and healthcare workers fighting famine in Yemen. We'll show the 3 films together twice during the festival. Skye's second show includes his latest film, Chasing Roo, about endangered kangaroos in Australia. This film was on the Academy Awards shortlist this year, and Skye invited 2 more films that were on the shortlist. One of them, Death by Numbers, is by the director of The Librarians, Kim Snyder. She's coming with the Parkland School shooting survivor Sam Fuentes, who's become a gun control activist and who wrote and stars in the film. The final program Sky's going to do with us is a talk back on film composing, the beauty of the score. Sky is going to show clips and talk with two composers he's worked with on scoring his documentaries. Sky is a great craftsman, and this should be a really illuminating talk back. On to the environmental path, and to tell you about the White House effect, here's Aura.
This film is a riveting look at a key moment in time when the conversation about climate change really shifted from being a universal issue, a global issue, a human issue, into something that was politically divisive. The story is told entirely out of archival footage, and so it's just a true editing feat. It's really incredible. It premiered at Telluride this year, and we're so pleased to have it as a part of our program.
The next film in our environmental path, Little Big and Far, is a narrative feature by one of my favorite filmmakers, Jem Cohn. His new film is about scientific curiosity, and it's another film very relevant to our historical moment when science is under siege. The scientist in the film is an astronomer named Carl, who travels to a mountaintop on a Greek island in search of the darkest sky in which to explore the cosmos. Raising Anaya is about a young black dancer and choreographer in Houston, Texas, who was displaced by a devastating hurricane. In order to heal from this trauma, she develops a dance performance based on what she learns about the legacies of environmental injustice on the Gulf Coast. This film was produced by Chris Lucas, a film professor at SOU. We're going to celebrate the occasion by awarding Chris our Lee Fuchsman Local Filmmaker Award, named after the vice president at Coming Attractions Theaters, who was instrumental in our festival's growth. Chris has also been instrumental, serving on our board and mentoring many of the SOU film students who came to work for AIFF, including our new managing director, Nicole Gullickson. The final film in our environmental track is Seeds. Here's Aura.
Okay, next up, we are so excited to be awarding Brittany Shine our Visionary Lens Award for her debut documentary, Seeds. This film follows 3 Black generational families of farmers over the course of 9 years, and it's shot in just absolutely gorgeous black and white. It's so intimate. It feels like such a loving portrait of these families. And we explore, legacy, wisdom, hardship around funding, all of these things in this very beautiful, verite, meditative way. It's absolutely stunning film. And Brittany's gonna be here live and in person, and we are going to also be showing 2 of her short films at the Film Center on Saturday, the 26th. So please join us. It's really special that she's coming.
I just want to add that Brittany Shine's film Seeds won the Grand Jury Prize for Documentary Features at this year's Sundance Film Festival, which is quite an accomplishment for a filmmaker's feature film debut. Okay, so now on to the feminist path. This is a path the festival has been following for a long time, both in championing women directors in an industry that has marginalized them, and also by screening films about women's rights. Sultana's Dream is a gorgeously animated feature combining CGI with hand-painted watercolor backgrounds and a stunning variety of animation styles. It's about Inez, a Spanish artist living in India who discovers Ladyland, a utopia in which women rule the country while men take care of the household. Let's check out the trailer.
Yesterday, I had a nice chat with my father. He wanted to know about my last boyfriend, and I tried to explain him how complicated relationships are nowadays. But he just said, if people would talk less, they'd be much happier.
First time in India? Did you come with your husband?
Not at all.
You are looking good, I must say. Beautiful as ever.
This is Sultana's dream, the terrible vengeance on men.
A terrible revenge.
Condemned to live in the place where they belong to.
Here, we do the logical thing. Instead of locking away women to keep them safe, we lock up the hungry, ravening beasts.
The world appears to them as an inexhaustible box of surprises.
I want to start tonight with its first recorded example of a man telling a woman to shut up.
Are you looking for Rukia's grave?
I am fascinated by her. Maybe you could help.
Nothing you can say can pull me away from you. I love you.
You are very quiet today.
I am not too quiet.
Our next film on the feminist path is Mistress Dispeller, and here's Aura.
Next up, we have The Mistress Dispeller by filmmaker Elizabeth Lowe. In China, there's a new industry that has emerged that's devoted to breaking up extramarital affairs, in which you can actually hire a mistress dispeller. So this film has extraordinary access to all of the characters involved, and we get to watch in real time a mistress dispeller work with a mistress, a husband, and a wife to break up an affair and then try to also repair the marriage. This movie will have you gasping aloud, for sure. The levels of psychological manipulation that occur, it's crazy. Plus, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Elizabeth Lowe, amazing. We need to keep watching this person. So, Mistress Dispeller, very special. Let's watch a clip.
我是跟他说有一次喝酒喝晕了，他叫了个名字，我就点他了。
我没说手机的事。
没，我说开业吧，我说他叫了个名字，他自己叫出来的。他当时就懵了，他就傻了，他就啥都说了，你就当不知道就行了，他不让我跟你说。然后下来他跟他说，他说啊，原来是这个意思。
他咋想的？他这个日子还想过不想？
他想过，我不是你别着急嘛，我觉得有希望，但是我不知道不了解那个女孩，我只有见完之后我才能跟您具体说。
我离远那个啥挺漂亮。
哎呀，那也不重要，那个有啥重要？你也挺漂亮的。
我老了。
啊，你回去一个字都别问，你交给我，你一个字都别问。
我不问，我不想问，我不想问。
行吗？
我不问。
中，
那你慢点。
那我走了啊。啊。
Okay, so on to the next theme, the queer path. So many of the best films Aura and I saw this year were on gay and lesbian and transgender folks and how they are revolutionizing art and religion and even athletics. So we're really excited to share these with you. Assembly documents performance that was at the Park Avenue Armory in New York City by the visionary interdisciplinary artist Rashad Newsom. It assembles a global cast of artists and Vogue dancers with breathtaking AI animations. The film shows us the rehearsals, the performance, and the struggles of the performers, particularly the Black trans women the performance honors. You're going to wish you could have seen this performance live, but the filmmakers did a remarkable job of turning the live event into great cinema. Let's look at the trailer.
This space has such a complicated history. There'll be a new kind of drill happening in here. A drill that's associated with liberation.
This is what I want to see. It's always this hovering, looming fear that something might happen.
Hello. My name is B. It's lovely to meet you, Father.
How do you feel?
I feel curious. There's so much I want to learn, to understand.
This is the hottest show in New York in the last 10 years.
No conditions have power over you. No circumstances have power over you. The ancestors smile. There is room here for every universe.
Talking about black fractals, like, it's real. We can't be destroyed, so.
Pull it up, let it go.
I'm talking dollars, I'm talking the comments, just run it the fuck up with good food. Nah, sis, don't get fooled. The boogeyman won't get you.
Assembly is a whole new world.
We're loving, we're dancing, we're sharing the space that we have created for ourselves because it's somewhere that we won't find anywhere else.
Because AI plays such a big role in this film, we've been inspired to host a special talkback on AI and cinematic storytelling with some of the leading Southern Oregon filmmakers who are pioneering in this realm. They'll be at the Film Center on Friday the 25th at 4:30. Next, we have Row of Life, introduced by Aura.
This film we're going to talk about is called Row of Life. It is directed by a woman named Soraya Simi. This story follows a renowned ocean rower and Marine Corps veteran, 3-time Paralympian, and 14 Guinness World Record holder Angela Madsen as she attempts to solo row from the Pacific coast all the way to Hawaii. It's a poetic story of bravery, resilience, the love between Angela and her wife Deb as they support each other's dreams while separated by a vast ocean. There is a gentle touch to Simi's direction. It feels lyrical. There's a beautiful usage of sound, and it's a pretty incredible story about tenacity. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it also deals with, what is personal freedom? So here is the trailer.
The solo row is kind of a different animal.
Happy wife, happy life.
I've been to 3 Paralympics. I have 6 Guinness Book World Records for rowing across oceans.
Hey Helen, between two asses, how's it going?
I still have solo by myself on my bucket list.
A Central Coast woman is taking on the Pacific Ocean this weekend, rowing from Santa Cruz to Hawaii.
It's gone over twice already. It's very scary. I had to go out.
I don't think she'll stop until she does. You can fail at any time in ocean rowing. Something can happen even on the last day that you won't make it.
Finally, Sabbath Queen, one of the most acclaimed films currently on the festival circuit. It's about Amichai Lau Levi, whose uncle and brother were Orthodox chief rabbis in Israel. But Lau Levi becomes a radical fairy and drag queen, and then eventually the rabbi of a God-optional, artist-driven New York synagogue. The filmmaker Sandy Dubowski is Lau Levi's good friend and congregant, and he spent 21 years making this film. So I'm thrilled that Sandy Dubowski is coming to Ashland to accept our Pride Award, and he's also going to be honored at a dinner hosted by Temple Emek Shalom. Now, the final path is the true crime path. Another thing Aura and I discovered this year is that there were a lot of films at Sundance and other festivals that are revolutionizing the popular true crime genre, and we were able to land a few of them. First, I'm Your Venus, which also ties into our queer path and relates very strongly to the film Assembly, which also highlights Vogue ballroom dancers. This film follows the straight working-class brothers of Venus Extravaganza, the Vogue dancer who was the star of the classic film Paris is Burning. Venus was murdered, and her brothers are still torn up that the crime is unsolved, the police don't seem to care, and they themselves feel that they neglected their trans sister while she was alive. Watching these brothers bond with the drag performers of the House of Extravaganza is the most moving experiences I've had at the movies this year, and I strongly encourage you to check this film out. Next, we have Suburban Fury. The woman you see on the right side of the screen is Sarah Jane Moore, whom you may remember attempted to assassinate President Gerald Ford. This is a documentary, but it plays like a thriller. Sarah Jane Moore is a natural storyteller, not exactly a reliable one. The director is Robertson DeVore, who's well known for his experimentations with documentary form. DeVore finds really beautiful, creative ways to film Moore alongside the rich trove of documentary footage he's dug up. And finally, we have a local true crime introduced here by Aura.
Okay, now we're going to talk about a documentary called The Whole Story, and this comes from Elijah Sullivan, who grew up in Mount Shasta. This is a regional story. When there is a mysterious hole found on the side of Mount Shasta, it kind of spurs this community investigation that's mired in all kinds of speculation. So Mount Shasta, as you know, is just, sort of saturated in lore. We have lenticular clouds that might not be clouds. We have, cults that come out of there. We also have stories about Lemurians or indigo children. We also have just counterculture and skiing. I spent the first half of this movie really trying to decide if it was a really well done mockumentary. But you know what? I think it's real. And these are our neighbors. And so I think we should check it out, and I'll let you decide. There's definitely questions left unanswered.
Now for the finale of our preview, we have our special opening and closing night attractions. First, opening night, and the film is I Know Catherine, the Log Lady. If you lived in Ashland between 1994 and 2015, you knew Catherine Coulson, also known as the Log Lady from Twin Peaks. Catherine was a company member of OSF for 22 seasons and appearing in over 50 productions. She also was a great friend of our festival, serving as a juror and appearing in one of our best promotional trailers. We've got the Oregon premiere of this new film, and here's the trailer.
One of my dearest, closest friends is Catherine Coulson, for sure.
Hi, this is Catherine Coulson, Coulson. I'm on hospice. I probably don't have a whole lot longer.
In 1990, Catherine Coulson became an international cult icon as the Log Lady in the groundbreaking television series Twin Peaks.
2014, the big news, Mark Frost and David Lynch were going to return.
Catherine was hiding the fact that she was so sick.
It was stage 4. Hospice said, "What's your heart's desire?" She said she wanted to finish her work on Twin Peaks.
We were up to that point where she was supposed to be working and coming up to work.
The producer was trying to organize a medical plane to bring her up.
She was going to fly to Washington. It could have killed her.
How could David put Catherine
who's dying in a position as an actor portraying this woman.
It's time.
Who was dying.
The show must go on. It's life. Life goes on. The story has to be told, no matter what. Tell the story.
I know Catherine, the log lady.
We'll all see each other again.
The director of the film, Richard Green, was a great friend to both Catherine Coulson and David Lynch, and he's coming to present the film. He's also going to join a talkback we've planned for our final day. It's going to be held at Carpenter Hall, and it's titled Working with Catherine. Richard Green will be joined by actors Miriam Lauba and Kate Herster and director Gary Lundgren, all of whom were great friends and collaborators of Catherine's. And finally, for our closing night, we're going to end our festival with previews of 2 new feature films coming soon from Ashland's most acclaimed filmmakers. For an evening with Bruce Campbell, Ida Gearin, and Gary and Annie Lundgren, we're bringing together 2 producer-director couples. First, Bruce Campbell, who we all know as a popular actor on film and television, is also a film director. He premiered his film My Name is Bruce at AIFF in 2007. His latest film as both director and leading actor is Ernie and Emma, which is produced by his wife, Ida Gearin. Ida's also a costume designer who worked on Bruce's film Army of Darkness. They're going to show a 20-minute excerpt of the film, which is expected to come out later this year. Joining them will be Gary and Annie Lundgren, who have probably had more feature films in AIFF than anyone else. People will fondly remember Redwood Highway, Phoenix, Oregon, Calvin Marshall, and Above the Trees. Their latest feature will be Pelican, also coming soon, but you'll get to see a couple of tantalizing scenes from their new film at this event. I'm going to be moderating this session, and Bruce and Ida and Gary and Annie will be chatting with me and with each other about their marital and cinematic collaborations. It should be a really fun night and a great closer for our festival. So that's all for our preview. Visit ashlandfilm.org, where you can see write-ups on all our films and more trailers, and you can order tickets. Or and I will see you in Ashland April 24th to 27th. Thanks for watching.